Well, it's
Welcome
time
back
to freaking do it, everybody, and do it is what we shall do. So, it's just so dumb.
You didn't know what to say, did you?
No, I just rolled with
That's
it.
all right, just go.
You just send words together. Hope the internet forgives you.
English.
Guys, today's video is a little bit of a kind of a concept, a little bit of a review, but a little bit of a concept sort of discussion and kind of breakdown on some kits. So the notion was plate carriers, civilian plate carriers.
Yes.
For civil unrest, right? Now that's very broad, very open to interpretation, but that was kind of the point, which is if we say, hey, look, you're a civilian, you want a plate carrier, the circumstances of civil unrest, which is really about the only reason any of us would need it.
Zombies, aliens.
It's kind of like civil unrest.
That's unresting the civil people, so
I
yeah.
would be at unrest then. So, and so kind of, hey, look, open to interpretation. What are you gonna do? So we're gonna mostly focus on my carrier because you guys have never seen this because it's new. We're gonna show Chris's a little, but we have a full video on his LBT rig that you guys can go watch. So we'll do a kind of a highlight reel of it, but you can go watch the full video on that. Before we get into it, this video is brought to you by freaking Shootin' Surplus.
Dang.
I think they should drop the G and just do shooting.
Just shooting.
Shootin'
Shooting
Surplus.
surplus.
But they're not gonna. So Shooting Surplus is where you would want to go check. The code 1911 will save you 5% off the store. They carry a lot of cool stuff, wide selection, all the kind of stuff that guys like you actually shoot and train with. They carry, so you can go check that out. The 556 for the video is from US Brass House. Thank those guys for their support.
Thank you, boys.
2 codes, 1911 and Syndicate, winds up saving you about 40 bucks off your cases of ammo, so you can go check that out. Let's dive into it. So this will be a little bit of a sort of freewheeling discussion to begin with, and then we'll kind of break down the actual carriers themselves. So if you're only interested in the carrier, then probably skip ahead a little bit. Otherwise, welcome and stay with us for a little bit. So the answer on this with everything is, well, it depends.
Well, it depends.
What's the right rig for you?
Well, it depends.
Because you actually have to make some assumptions if you're gonna do something like this.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to come to some calculated assumptions on, well, here's what I think the threat and the circumstance would be, and then you build your kit for that circumstance, even though you don't actually know if that's gonna be the circumstance. So you gotta make some assumptions, and I'm gonna kind of tell you some of the assumptions.
And heaven forbid we're ever in that circumstance.
Certainly hope not. But so here's my philosophy on this, which is I wanted a minimalist rig with the ability to add more stuff if time and opportunity permitted. I don't mean like over the course of time, add more stuff. I mean, right here, right now, the threat is here, but I have time and opportunity, so I can bring my like extra kit that I would like to have. But if I don't have that, I have my bare bones necessities on me right now.
Cool.
Right? So that's the philosophy that I followed. Couple other assumptions that I'm making. This is not a bug out situation.
Yeah.
It's not. We've talked about this with bags before too. It's a get home rig. So I kind of looked at what are the you know, guys that I know with who have you know, fascinating, interesting backgrounds. A term that they throw around is statistical probability of threat, right? Well, what is the probability of threat? What is the most likely situations that you would find yourself in? So here's the 2 that I'm making an assumption on. 1, it's civil unrest, right? To, you know, go down that rabbit hole however you want, but it's civil unrest. And I am simply in my home and defending my home. Okay. I'm defending my castle, if you will, right? Okay. So there's no ambush, there's no surprise. It's like, man, shit is popping off and I'm gonna hunker down in my house and just try to power through this, right? Cool. So like, there you go. That's one of my most likely scenarios, is it not? Yeah. That I'm just defending my house. 100%. Right, under civil unrest. Number 2 would be that I am out and about when things pop off, right? If we're not gonna go too far into this because it just ventures into political territory. That's not what we do on this show, but hey, rewind the clock.
It's not what I do in my life. So,
no, rewind the clock a year and a half ago and you go, we had civil unrest, right? And you go, hey, look, even myself, I found myself in downtown Salt Lake when it wasn't like really lit, but it was like, you know, they're kind of getting after it here. So I'm in my vehicle, and for me, probability of threat, one of the most likely scenarios I could be in is I'm in my vehicle and I realize, oh, I've wandered into a bad situation. Yeah. And whether I either need to simply hunker down in my vehicle or if I have to bail out of my vehicle, I can tell you this is not a bug out situation. I'm not heading to the mountains. I'm trying to get my ass home.
Yeah. And out of that threat, then to go home.
Right.
Right?
Right. So like, I look at, and this is not my philosophy, from smarter people than me, of course, but like bug out bags are the same thing. Chances are you're not bugging out. It's a get home bag, everyone. So I look at the carrier the same way. It's a get home carrier, right? It's not meant to get me through war. It's meant to get my ass back to my house. Where I've got the proper gear and shit to try to like hunker down and you know, get through this stuff. So those are the assumptions that I make.
Okay.
Anything to add, or shall I get into this?
You can jump into it. It's just going to be shockingly, like, I'm shocked at how, like, in conjunction both of ours are. I can't find the word for it.
Yeah.
Like, your setup is weirdly similar to mine.
Yeah, I know the words.
I'm under the weather, man. I'm sorry.
They're not in my brain either right now.
Shockingly similar.
We're in sync. We're in sync. There you go.
Cohesiveness.
Yeah, sure. All that stuff.
Our lines of thoughts are very similar.
Yeah. So this carrier, guys, we'll show you B-roll and stuff, but it's from a company called Agilite. To be perfectly candid with you, I was not aware of Agilite. They actually sent us a message during SHOT Show and said, hey, why don't you swing over to the booth? We'd like to show you our new placard, or triple AR placard. And we just didn't get to make it, and we followed up afterwards, and we're like, hey, sorry we didn't get to make it. And they were like, but it was like, hey, be interested in maybe doing like a video and some of your guys' kit, and we happen to be doing this video, so it all kind of synced up, right? So they sent us the carrier. So there is an Israeli company. They actually like really kind of base this stuff around building kit for their IDF Special Forces guys.
Yeah.
And those guys are some hitters, actually. Like, and they actually, never mind, I'm not gonna go into a couple of the stats, just because.
Oh, damn it, I was hoping you would.
I thought it was cool, but I'm just like, well, I'll say it, but in case this is off, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying what I was told, which is that Israel has more active shooters stopped by civilians than any other country. And I was like, well, that's damn cool.
But also, everyone in Israel is conscript military, right? So at some point they were active duty.
Yeah.
Then went civilian.
Yeah.
So technically, it's not civilians, it's veterans.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no,
we're
totally
splitting hairs here, but it's an interesting stat and also makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
So there's three components that makes up the entire carrier, right? And then we'll kind of break down what's in it and why and all that kind of stuff. So it's just the carrier. The carrier is called the K19, runs $280. There is the pincer placker, this guy, right? That's just Velcroed on, hooked on here. Those run, I don't know, because they were out of stock, because I think they're popular and they ran out of stock. So I don't know, $70. I don't know. Don't
I'd imagine 70 to 80, somewhere
in the ballpark, right? And then there's the amp assault pack that runs $165. That's a back panel. We will get into that, how it attaches and all that good stuff. So let me give you my basic loadout. So on a basic,
the most minimum it can be, if you didn't have time to get an expansion pack.
Correct. So I look at it and I go, look, here's my bare bones necessity setup, right? That if I had to rock and roll with this, it has a bare bones basics amount of stuff that I need, which is one, armor. The armor in question here are Hesco L210s.
Yep.
Great plates.
Great plates.
I've got 2 sets of them just to illustrate a point, and both were paid for, right? So take that for what it's worth. Great plates. I'm running plate backers from T-Rex Arms, actually, that are just basically foam, just piece of foam.
For defamation stuff?
Foam backer. I think it's really more for comfort and just filling out the plate bag, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even think it's for defamation.
Oh, really?
I think it's just for comfort.
If we're off on that, you guys roast us, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a piece of foam. I don't know how it's like stopping much on the defamation front. That's the armor. The next thing is their pincer placard, which is pretty self-explanatory with 3 AR mags. One of the things that they did a very good job of on this, so the design of it, so it would look, upon looking at it, like it might have a Kydex insert. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's just, you know, webbing and material.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah, but what they did a very good job of is they put this little, like, kind of, I don't know, plastic or whatever, probably plastic, I don't know, this little like lip up here so that when you take your mag out, the pouch doesn't collapse upon you. And then you're like fishing to like get the thing back in. Yeah. So basically, hey, look, it's just a collapsible pouch, but the way that the top of it was designed, piece of cake.
Cool.
Right? It's very well done placard, actually. Yeah. It's actually a very, very well done placard. Given that I did not know these guys until I knew them, I was like, damn, turns out you guys actually make very, very nice gear, and I just was not aware of you yet.
Not bad.
So we've got the pouch, and then the only other thing on my bare bones necessity is this little basic trauma kit, if you will, which is really just a tourniquet and trauma shears. Now what that is, just so you guys know,
It's a little shingle, isn't it? Yeah.
So this is from HRT, who we've actually also done a plate carrier review of. So HRT makes this little flap, and you can run it either direction depending on which side of the carrier it's going on, but it just Velcros into your placard, and I'm keeping trauma shears and a tourniquet in there.
Yeah.
Because like, look, without running a back panel, I really don't have space or a dangler, because again, I'm going minimal. Yeah. I want this thing to be lightweight, streamlined, like just down and dirty. So this was my bare bones necessity of what I wanted med-wise,
cool.
Right? I am not med qualified, so please do not take anything I say particularly seriously or as the gospel. It's not. Now, that said, with time and opportunity, I would like to have more supplies, which is what we have the back panel for. It's a very simple attachment system. So the back of this is Velcro. So this actually comes as a bag, just so that you guys know, it's an actual backpack. Like these are straps, like for backpack straps, right? So this comes as a backpack. Take off the straps, undo a couple of things, and then you have a back panel. So this is Velcro, right? So basically just Velcro's on, and then you take, not even gonna worry about doing it. We'll show the B-roll of it so you guys see the full thing. But then this clip and
just that one
somewhere in here.
Just that one.
Yeah, they just, well, it's not that one because that's the wrong end. Oh, sorry. This clip just mates up on both sides of the carrier with this. Boom. So it's just clip, Velcro. You're in. Piece of cake. There are more secure attachment methods, which we'll probably show, but time and opportunity starts to fade at that point.
Yeah, because mine's woven in through the MOLLE,
so
right?
Speed. If speed is important. If I said, oh shit, I don't have time to deal with this, like, or I don't have the ability to take this, whatever it is, I need to get it off or on, cool, real fast to make that happen, right? Yeah. In terms of what's in it, so first of all, you could run a helmet and stuff in here. That's what this is for.
Oh shit, it is.
Run a helmet, yeah.
Cool.
Of course, I'm not doing that because let's calm down, everyone.
Well,
I'm just saying.
In civil unrest,
sure, but
get a helmet.
Right, but I don't. So we do not.
Because a brick to the head, doesn't matter what you got. You take a brick to the dome, you're done.
So let's go inside and kind of my philosophy here. So one medical, this I literally threw in because just someone gave it to me a week ago. So just some emergency bandages, very basic. We got a full IFAK, right? So I like having stuff kind of separated out. That's just my personal philosophy. In this little Kafaru pouch here, I love these little things.
Love them.
They're fantastic. No affiliation. Simply love these little wonderful things.
I got probably 10 of those
because it was so lightweight. Threw in a rat's tourniquet.
Why not?
Because why the hell not? Beyond that, folding knife, right? I'm not bothering with fixed blades and tomahawks and shit like that because again, we're getting into fantasy territory here. And let's stop.
Not dogging people that do, but
no, but we're in fantasy territory. So that's a folding knife, a minimal amount of food, right? Just a bar of some sort, just something to give me a little energy if hypothetically I did have to hike 10 miles, get my ass back to the house. Pair of gloves.
Really, you're not hiking 10 miles.
Right, I could hike 10 miles.
Yeah.
Pair of gloves. These are the gun glove, actually really good gloves.
Yeah.
Quite a fan of these, but just some gloves in case, hey, again, time and opportunity presents itself. Multi-tool, right? Nothing fancy. Multi-tool, you guys know what those are.
I think that's an absolute must.
I do too.
Yep.
Very minimal amount of water. So on food and water, look, just a bar, a damn bottle of water, just bare bones necessities.
Yep.
Like I'm not trying to make this thing 30 pounds. 2 AR pouches that are Velcroed in. This literally Velcros in, your pouches go in. These are, I believe, from Haley Strategic, if I remember right.
They look like Haley.
So they literally just Velcro in. And then I have one more pouch. This is from Hill People Gear that I usually run on my little Hill People Gear chest rig. Inside of that is really illumination and battery. So handheld light, just Surefire that's God knows how many years old. And then a handful of different batteries. This is gonna look very excessive, and I agree with you. The only reason I've done this is because different things
take different batteries.
Based on what you have on you is gonna dictate what kind of batteries.
Rechargeables, non-rechargeables.
Yeah. So I go, hey,
2032s.
That's your pretty standard optic battery. These are pretty standard handheld batteries and or EOTech batteries.
Correct.
Right, which is a great CQB. These are just 2 different size, actually 3 different size rechargeable weapon light for mod light or cloud or whatever it is that you're using. Right, so that is if I had the ability to throw this thing on and take it with me, that's what I would do. I'll tell you one other thing in terms of why I really, actually 2 other things in terms of why I really like this carrier. One, extremely comfortable. It is a very, very comfortable rig. This is, I mean, they make like, you know, battle military oriented carrier. So this isn't meant to be slick minimalist. It's meant to, you know, more of a warfighter setup. So there is good padding in here, but very comfortable when you wear it. The other thing that is my favorite feature about it is how you, shall we say, don and doff it. And because it runs on these little tubes, and we will show you some B-roll of this so you can relax. But basically these little tubes line up right here. A little tough to do from this angle, but almost impossible to do from this angle because I'm looking at it upside down. But these
You're
little
like
tubes,
a baby deer taking its steps for the first time.
But it goes in these little slots, and oh, that's what it is. It's right there. Yeah, right. And then they just pop up. Cool. Right. So it's very simple. So part of my argument for that is I think one of the most probability of threat, one of the most likely times I might have to put this on is in my vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? So vehicle, I'm dealing with flaps and putting this shit in, and they're tough to adjust and everything. I want something that's very, very simple to put on and off inside my vehicle.
From a seated position with the steering wheel in front of you.
And so, to take it off, literally, you just pull these things down on both sides and you're out of the carrier, or up top. So to do a test, some of my testing for this was frankly a pain in the ass. So I pulled, on the way to the range, I pulled over right by my house, and I said, okay, grab your carrier and put it on. Don't get out of your vehicle, put your carrier on. So I put it on, pop, pop. You adjust these little straps on your own, very well designed, and you go, cool, I'm in my carrier, and it was very simple inside my vehicle, didn't have to get out, no hassle, steering wheel, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And then for the rest of the day, I drove the hour to the range wearing it, which was, you know, awkward with people also on the road.
Yeah.
But part of the testing process, got to the range, shot, drove my ass home. So it was about, I mean, I've worn this for, you know, 4 or 5 hours at a time, multiple days, just to go, how is the comfort? How is it traveling? Which again, if I'm driving and I'm wearing this, I'm definitely not wearing the back panel.
Correct.
Right? If I had to actually drive in it.
Yeah.
So comfort, how it attaches, very, very smart. That's my rig. And I gotta say, like, I love it. And just so you guys know, this is no, like, you would imagine right now this is a paid Agilite video or something. It's not. To be frank with you, we were supposed to have 3 different carries for this, and we just had a shakeup this week. But like, I've really fallen in love with this damn carrier.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, some people might say like, oh, you love it because da-da-da-da this. No, like, we're pretty honest people, and I just like what I like, and if I like something, I like it. Same with you.
Big fan of this. Like, I mean, I've really become a very big fan of this carrier. It's like right now, it's definitely my go-to carrier.
Cool. Kind of jumping into my setup, how I have it for Civil Unrest. We did a full review on this probably dang near a year ago.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably right around a year ago. So if you want the full breakdown, by all means, go watch that video. But this is the LBT rig, the 1694 G3 with their kangaroo pouch, their side panel, pouches that hold plates, as well as 2 AR mags or comms if you need it.
Nice.
I have the Haley Strategic flat pack on here, which usually has some more stuff in it, but since I fly up here, there's not a ton in here. Okay. Guys, I'm getting killed on overweight baggage fees when I fly up here.
Fair enough.
So I stripped as much as I could, and my Pelican was still 75 pounds. So anyways, got a couple things. So actually, let's go front to back, okay? I don't think we need to cover what the rig is anymore because we already got a video on that. Now, very, very similar to you, I wanted something that is gonna be easy to put on and off, don and doff, right?
Oh, so you run on a similar thing.
Yep, the first spear tubes.
Yeah.
So
mine are not, by the way, on the Agilite, just so you guys know.
No.
Because I know some people be like, their first spear, they're not, but it's a similar design.
It's very similar design, but I run the first spear tubes for easy don and doff, right? And I actually do run a dangler. Being my size, my height and everything, I actually prefer a dangler. And in my dangler, we got a little fixed blade. We got a tourniquet. It's Velcroed in, and I put it in there on purpose that way. And then, oh, I switched them, sorry. Usually I have batteries up there. And batteries for all my stuff. Marker, reason why, if I got to put a tourniquet on, I need to write on there what time that went on. You're not medically qualified. I am TCCC certified. So.
I would write on you, I tried.
Dick.
Did my best, is what I would put
Did my best.
on your forehead.
That
Medic would show up, be like, man, your friend's an asshole.
Yep, yep. And then I do have just 2 sets of hearing protection, the Surefire ones and little foamies.
Dope.
Are they necessary in one of those situations? Probably not. I just thought, hey, I'd rather have them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely be great if you could not kill your ears.
Right, but at the same time, like, Do you want your sound deadened in a situation like that?
No, electronic would be amazing, but I mean, again, we're kind of getting into like...
Exactly.
Again, minimal.
Minimal. And that's it, okay? I usually have like a bar in here or like, you know, a handheld flashlight. Again, I stripped it out, but I am gonna take a page out of your book. I'm gonna put some more AR mags in here and water. I think that that's super smart. You put water in there.
I mean, you're gonna fade on water pretty quick, you know?
3 days without it and you die.
Yeah.
So.
And
in a high stress situation, you're sweating a ton, potentially
with
running.
a damn carrier run.
Right.
In Phoenix.
Right.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, good luck. You're not making it far. So I think some people are gonna be a little confused on why we don't have more. Like, why don't we have a Tomahawk and chem lights and comms and all this stuff? Not dogging guys that do, by any means. For me, that seems highly unnecessary.
Yeah.
I am simply trying to get home.
I'm trying to get my ass to the house, man.
I don't have a teammate with me that's running full kit, so I don't need comms.
Right.
I'm not breaching doors under nods, so I don't need infrared.
Yeah. I'm not assaulting.
I don't need a Tomahawk because, well, I don't. I mean...
Because
I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
Now, there could be an argument you might need it for a breaching tool to get into a building. We're splitting hairs at that time, right?
We're getting into goofy territory.
Goofy territory. So, and that's just us. No offense to the guys that do. I just wanted a simple carrier that, like you said, I could put on and off in my truck. I usually do have a bump helmet attached to this if it is in my vehicle, simply because in civil unrest, they're throwing a lot of stuff.
No, it's a great point.
And I have multiple helmets. So like, you know, for me, it was just like, dude, if you take a brick to the head, you are done. Done. So I was like, why not throw? And that just clips onto the back here. So very minimal. I really don't think, in my opinion, which means nothing, in a scenario like that, you don't need much more. Same in my house. Say if I'm protecting my house, I got my wife. That's it. Okay? I don't need much more than this.
In my house, I'm definitely running mine slick because I'm like, yo, I can have my bag 10 feet in the other room. Like, I'm definitely not running a back panel. I'm like, just stop rounds, shoot rounds, and maybe have a tourniquet. Like, that's about it.
I think that it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and I know we'll get, you know, some people that want to criticize that, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion because our opinion is not correct. It's our opinion.
True. But we do talk and train with and have a lot of SWAT cop buddies, law enforcement buddies, military buddies that we kind of suss this stuff out with. And even talking with those guys, I don't think I'm too far off.
No. So that's your video for the day, guys. Comment below. Let us know if you got any thoughts, all that kind of stuff. I know you will do that anyway, but go for it. Again, thanks Shooting Surplus for the support, sponsoring the video. Beyond that, hope you guys are doing well. Take care of you and your canine friends. I tried to do a
spay and neuter your pets.
I tried to do a closing line. It didn't work.
Didn't work. Be safe.
Wrap it up.
See you next time.